This is a 1973 Camaro. Just doing a preview video for a couple of guys. Engine fires right up. Sounds like there's a small exhaust leak on the donut gasket down here. But it does have headers, long tube headers. Other than that, the engine looks like it runs great. Recent rebuild. It's got a Edelbach Performer intake on it. The sound of a mild cam. Of course it's cold, but I can try and rev it a little. If it was me, I'd probably put a touch more aggressive exhaust system on it. It does have real Flowmasters, but probably maybe a little bit bigger pipe would help it out. Body on the car is aero straight. As I was saying earlier, if you couldn't hear me, they're in the donut gasket on this side, I believe, either needs to be tightened up, the collector gasket, or probably just have it replaced. I mean, they only cost 10 bucks and they're not that hard to fix. So heater works. It's an original AC car, but the AC is not hooked up. Very clean under the hood, nice and clean and presentable. Some two-part valve covers that I've never seen before. They're kind of cool. I'm not personally that crazy into them, but I like engine dress kits fine. It's got a nice 4-core aluminum radiator. That's a nice addition with a chrome shroud on it, or aluminum shroud, so that looks nice. Lines on the body look good. Trunk or hood opens and closes. Maybe a couple of little adjustments it could use all the way around, but like I said, nice aero straight body. Couple spots here where the doors are being adjusted, and if you get really close on there, you'll see that there's some touch-ups that were done. So I would have a paint shop touch that up, and there's one spot down here probably when, like I said, they were adjusting the doors, they may have dropped it or hit it on something. Other than that, though, it's the only paint imperfection that I've seen on the whole car. Maybe a couple of other tiny spots of touch-up. There's one maybe like right here. Rear bumper looks older. Front bumpers look brand new. Still in very presentable condition, but not actually. No, the front and rear bumper appear possibly to be original. They both look older. Very presentable, but they don't look brand spanking new. Front spoiler has a crack. It's actually not that old of a spoiler either, but got hit on a curb. That can be repaired, or a new front spoiler costs about $100 on eBay, and replace it. These are really, really nice Boyd Coddington aluminum wheels, polished aluminum. They look amazing. They're an offset. You got about 11 inches of tread on the back tire. I mean, just a monster, you know, size tread on what appears to be new tires. Looks like they're probably 8s or even not an 8.5s in the front, probably 11s in the back, and they just perfectly tuck up in there, and they look really great. When the car drives, they don't scrub or anything. Door panels look like you know, kind of presentable, but if it was me, I'd probably replace them. There's a couple of little spots here, or maybe even just replace this plastic. The panel itself doesn't look terrible, but you know, it just depends on how perfect you want the vehicle to look. Windows roll up and down easily. You have a typical F-body scrape on the windshield here. It's kind of hard to see in the video. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see in the video, but you got a few scratches on there, probably original glass. 90s model. Seats in there, they're very comfortable. I've got a set of the original seats that just need to be recovered, and if it was my car, I'd probably put the original seats back in it. Center console, shifter, all the gauges in the center console right there work, but the gauges in the dashboard would need to be, you know, troubleshot. I believe the odometer and speedometer, odometer, and tachometer all work. Wipers definitely work. It's an original AC car, and you can always tell that by the vents being in the dash. This needs to be adjusted here, if you can see, where the gauges go in. Headliner looks pretty good. The trunk looks really good. Open that up. Oh, I got the wrong key. Well, we had the trunk open yesterday, and it's not opening right now, so I guess that's something that needs to be troubleshot. I'm not sure why the trunk's not opening. I could ask the previous owner. He opened it up for me, and it looked really good. Maybe there's a trick to it, or maybe something needs to be tightened. Underneath the car, of course, you have power steering, power disc brakes in the front, original from the factory. This is a Type LT. Some overspray under here, some gunk. If you wanted it to look awesome under here, you'd want to, you know, take the time to detail it. A little bit of superficial minor rust in the floor pans that I've seen that look like they've been patched. A couple of spots. I mean, overall it looks very clean. Rockers look clean on both sides, which is really good. A little crusties back here on the subframe, just a touch. Doesn't look like it's all the way rusted through like major cancer or anything, but definitely something you'd want to clean up. Older Flowmaster exhaust, like I said before. Emergency brake needs to be hooked back up. So overall though, from 15 feet away, this car looks awesome. Really sharp car. Stripes are straight on it. Z28 badging all the way around. And I think just a couple of $1,000 in this car and you could take it up to the next level. That's a nice thing about a car like this. I mean, it's already running, driving, very reliable. Transmission shift's great. Power steering works good. Just all of that. So it just needs a little TLC, all the little things that I was just talking about. Door locks need to be fixed. I think at least on the driver's side, the door lock needs to be re-hooked up. Just some little things I was trying to think of. Looks like the weather stripping looks pretty good here. Is in good shape. Oh, it has this original factory defroster in the back. Looks like a new Pioneer, and it does have a new CD player in the dash. It's a Kenwood. It's a Bluetooth, which is nice. So, and it does work. It's all hooked up, so it does crank out the tunes. All right, I'll send over some pictures too.